This video is on dimensional analysis. Dimensional analysis is a method of converting units of measure. A ratio that contains units of measure can be multiplied by one or more unit multipliers to change those units of measure. For example, we can do this to convert miles per hour to feet per second. A unit multiplier is a fraction whose numerator and denominator are of equal value but are expressed in different units. For example, a unit multiplier would be 1 mile over 5,280 feet. Because 1 mile is 5,280 feet, I can multiply anything by that because I'm basically multiplying by 1. I'm only doing this to change the units of measure. So let's take a look at a couple examples here. First one says, if a bear can run 110 feet in 5 seconds, what is its speed in miles per hour? So I want to write that as a fraction. So it can run 110 feet in 5 seconds. And I always kind of like to be thinking about where do I want to be? I want to be in miles per hour. So I need to convert feet to miles and seconds to hours. So I'm going to use a unit multiplier. And notice I have feet on the top, so I want to have feet on the bottom of my first fraction. So 5,280 feet is equal to 1 mile. Okay, so that's going to cancel out my feet. Now I need to have something multiplied by something that has seconds on the top and 1 hour on the bottom. So 1 hour is 3,600 seconds, and that's 1 hour. So now I can cancel out my units. My feet cancel top and bottom. My seconds cancel top and bottom. And I'm left with 110 times 1 times 3,600 seconds. No, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Miles. Sorry. Miles over 5 times 5,280 times 1 hour. So plugging those numbers into my calculator, 110 times 1 times 3,600 miles gives me 396,000 miles in 26,400 hours. And dividing those two numbers gives me 15 miles per hour. So a bear that can run 110 feet in 5 seconds is actually running 15 miles per hour. Next example here, how many seconds has a 10-year-old child lived? Let's assume it's the child's birthday and we don't have to consider days after his birthday. So I'm going to start with 10 years because that's how old the child is. And I know that there are 365 days in 1 year, and that's going to allow me to cancel my year units. And I know that there are 24 hours in 1 day. Notice I'll be able to cancel my day units. And I kind of skipped this in the previous one, but there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. And there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So I can cancel years, days, hours, minutes, and the only units I'm left with are seconds. So I have 10 times 365 times 24 times 60 seconds gives me 315,360,000 seconds. So a 10-year-old child on his birthday has lived 315,360,000 seconds. Now, I realize that doesn't take into account leap years, but that's pretty close. So here's a couple practice problems I'd like you to try on your own. So go ahead and stop the video and try these in your math journal. Okay, the first one says, a cheetah can run 70 miles per hour. What is the speed in meters per second? So this one's a little bit trickier because, so let's do 70 miles in 1 hour, because I actually have to convert miles to meters. So I looked this one up, and there are 1,609.3 meters in 1 mile. Okay, sometimes if you don't know the conversion units from a metric to what we commonly use here, go ahead and look those up. Okay, so I have miles, hours, and then I know that there are 3,600 seconds. Whoops, wait, I got that backwards. That 1 hour, because I need to have hours on top, is 3,600 seconds. So I think that's going to work. So my hours will cancel, my miles will cancel, and I will have my answer in meters per second. So I'm going to do 70 times 1,609.3 and then divide that by 3,600, and I get that that is approximately, I should go ahead with the squigglies here, 31.3 meters per second. And our last practice problem here says, if your yearly salary is $50,000 and you work 40 hours a week for 50 weeks, what is your hourly pay? I know there's 52 weeks in a year. Let's assume you get 2 weeks of vacation. So I have $50,000, and that's in 1 year. And in 1 year, you are working 50 weeks. Even though there's 52 weeks in a year, you're working 50 weeks. And in 1 week, you are working 40 hours. So let's see what's going to cancel here. So years will cancel, weeks will cancel, and I will have dollars over hours, which is what I want. So 50,000 divided by 50 times 40 is going to give me $25 per hour. So in this video, we took a look at dimensional analysis, which is a way of using unit multipliers to change the units on one rate to another rate that has different units.